Alright everyone, I'm doing this video for informational purposes only, and use of this information is at your own risk. And I am reviewing the software that I use from a trucking company. It is called Truckin' Pro, and it's from foglinesoftware.com. It's one of the best programs I've found since I've been in the business. And I've been using it for quite some time now, and they do have a newer version. It's called Truckin' Pro Business Manager. But if you're a one truck operation, Truckin' Pro 7 works just fine. So this will also I'll show one of the quarters. It's for those drivers that want to know if there really is any money out there to be made if you're leased onto a company instead of having your own authority. And so I'll show you those numbers also. But here's what it looks like when you open it up. You get the screen, you get these boxes here. Revenue, I'm going to click on this. Due to the fact that I'm leased onto a company, when I click on that, my first load's going to come up and it's going to show where it goes and the money and stuff and the rate. So I will black the screen on the phone out for just a second so I can go to a blank page so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. We're going to blank this out. Give me just a second. Okay, here we are. Hit new record. This is what it looks like. You can put in your master load ID or whatever your company gives you a load ID, and you can pick a truck, your truck number, trailer number. You put all this stuff in if you want. Now they got an auto last fill here, and that'll put your last empty date, and you put in your deadhead from, load date, start city. So you just fill these blocks out. Your last odometer reading will automatically show up there when you hit this button here. And when you get to your spot to get loaded, you put that in there, and when you drop off, you put your end odometer, and it'll keep track of all your miles. And when you do that, down in these blocks, it'll put your deadhead miles in there for you, your loaded miles, your personal miles, if you put some in here, if you use your truck for personal purposes. And it'll total those miles up, and it'll get you actual pay per mile when you put in the gross pay. And if you get 100% on the percentage, whatever percent you get, you set it up in the program, and it'll put it in here, and it'll calculate it for you. And it's going to give you your pay per mile here, when you get your load pay in there and stuff. So it'll come down here. You can stick in your load ID, will go in there, but if you have a pay category, you click on it, see the detention, drop and hook, or drop pickup, excess of box miles, fuel surcharge, and so forth. Then you can click on this tab here, and you can add any category in there that you would like. So you can make it to whatever you need to work for you. That's why it works for everybody. In the new version, if you're an auto hauler, they got an auto tab here. Okay, so then it's just a tab. So you hit your pickup drops, you click in there, you put a P for pickup, so forth, and you can put a customer ID in here. If your company uses customer codes, type a code in there. It'll say not found. You want to add, you click yes. Then you add the name of the customer, directions, whatever you want to put in there, you can put in there, and it'll keep track of it for you in the database. Then you click on your fuel for that trip, and you put your fuel in here. And when you get down to the end, if you hit the button there, you can scan your fuel receipt in, so that way you can throw your receipt away because it keeps it digitally for you. So just make a backup copy of this data, and you don't have to keep no paperwork. And if you have expenses for that trip, you put them in here. And then you can do the route. So if you do your own IFTA for you guys, you put it in here, and it'll print out IFTA reports for you, so it'll keep track of it. And you can put notes on the load if you want, and then when you're all done, it'll show you the profit and loss for that load. You click on documents, and you can scan in your bill of ladings and stuff and all information pertaining to that load. And the same thing, you throw all the bills away because you can have a digital copy of it, and you can print it out whenever you feel like it. So that's the revenue tab. So that's how that works to get your loads in there. We're going to close that out. come back up here. Vendors, if you have vendors, you click in there, you add your vendors in there. Expenses, you click on that tab. Now say I have expenses, so it doesn't matter if I show you. And you can scroll through them like this, and it so this is supplies. If I have a receipt, there it is. I scanned it in, and you can see that, you know, that's the receipt. So I could print that out or whatever, because I've already thrown it away because I have a copy. So it's a lot easier for your paperwork, guys. You know, you don't have all them big bags laying around or filing cabinets. Okay, so that's the expense part. That's what that tab does. You can set up reminders. If you like truck stops, you click on that, and it has it in the database that has 2,591 truck stops. And you can put your own notes in here. Check these boxes down here if they have tank wash, CB shops, or whatever. And you can hit a new record, and that'll bring up a window if the truck stop's not listed in here, and you can add it. If you click on the map, it'll take you to where this truck stop is. And if you click on weather, it'll bring up the weather for that area. Alright, so now we got customers. You click on that, and that's going to be all the customers that you picked up and delivered to, as long as you put them in the database when on the revenue page when you filled out your trip info. Okay, that's where they'll be. And then the calendar, of course, is self-explanatory. It's a calendar and a calculator. Trucks, you click on this. And if you're one truck owner, you put your one truck in there. If you got 50 trucks, you put 50 trucks in there. There's no limit. And same thing with trailers. And this is your cards, whether you could use ComData, EFS, or you know, credit cards, whatever you want. You put your cards in there. Drivers, now you can put yourself in there. If you have 4 or 5 or 6 drivers, you put those in there. You put them guys in there, and then, you know, you can do everything for that. And then you got your log calculator, phone book, find loads. And this brokers and agents tab, you know, if you deal with brokers and stuff, you can put them guys in there. This company also has one specifically built for Landstar, so all the agents will be already in the database. And you got your documents tab, and that'll take you to all your documents if you had any scanned in. And now here's the good part. This is where we're going to get to the data. You click on reports, and you bring up a report screen. So if you use this and you put all your trips in here and you keep track of everything, you can do all your own taxes, because on your categories you can list them just as the numbers are on the Schedule C's. And when you do this profit and loss report, all you gotta do is just transfer the numbers over. Alright, so we're gonna go look at let's look at the last quarter of the month of 2014, or of the year, I'm sorry. So we're gonna go October 1st through December 31st. Okay, that's going to give us our 3-month period, the last quarter of the year of last year. Now, if you have a lot of trucks, see if I bring this up, you could pick a truck and it'd give the details for each truck. If you leave these blank, it's going to give you for your whole operation. Now you hit profit and loss report. It's going to give you the profit and loss report for that quarter. And if you click on these, if you unpaid loads, it'll give you if there's any unpaid loads, it'll show you those. And I'll show you this revenue by date, because these are the two I really want to show you: profit and loss and revenue by date. If you click on expenses by date, it'll give you that. If you click on miles per gallon, you know, it'll show you 7.26 miles per gallon. It'll give you your average price per gallon that you paid, the money you paid, and how many gallons you used for that quarter. So that's a nifty feature. Your IFTA report, you click on that, it'll print your IFTA out. Maintenance report, it'll print out maintenance report for your trucks and so forth. All these are self-explanatory. Alright, so here we go. Profit and loss. This is what a lot of people see. If you can actually make money, you know, leased onto a company. So I click that button, and there it is. Alright, here's the profit and loss report. The tractor fuels here, 48 cents a mile for that. Base plates, so forth and so forth. You know, it's 38 cents for my truck. That does everything right there. So there's all the numbers. Now you come over here, it'll give you your total revenue. It gives you total expenses, and the total profit, total actual miles, and then my average revenue per mile was $2.01 for all the miles. My expenses were 99 cents, so I had a profit of $1.02 per mile. So that's pretty good. So that's my last quarter of 2014. So total revenue of $44,779, total expenses of $22,000, total profit of $22,700, and there's the actual miles of 22,316. 201 was the average per mile, expenses 99 cents, profit $1.02. So after all truck expenses, 22,702. So you can do the math. All right, so that's how the profit and loss works. And you can say, okay, well, what did I do for a week? Because you can get the profit and loss for a day, you know, 2 days a week, whatever time frame. So I could put October 8th in here. So for the first 8th, 1 week, and I click the button, and there it is for that week. Okay, so it shows me my fuel and so forth and so forth. So it says I did 1,915 miles that week at $2.35 a mile. I had the 53 cents, a profit $1.82 a mile that week. Did $44.90, $1,000 in expenses, $34.79 was the profit. All right, so that you can just do it week by week, and you can go through, you know, and it shows you everything you need to know. So you know exactly where you stand at any given moment. And a lot of guys don't know that. They don't know the numbers. And how can you run effectively if you don't know your numbers? Or, you know, you don't know if your certain routes you're picking are really worth it. And this will make sure that you know that it's worth it. All right, so we're going to close this out. And, well, no, I want to show you one more thing here. The revenue by date. Okay, so we'll bring that last quarter up. October 1st. December 31st. All right, I'm going to click this revenue by date. I'm going to black the camera out for just a second because this will give me the list of every load that I ran that quarter, who the customers were, and what the rate was. And since I'm leased to a company, I don't want to show that information because that might give other companies, they'll know exactly what we do. So let me black that out real quick, and then I'll just show you the very last page at the bottom, and that's going to have all the totals for all the loads and a lot of information that you really need to know. So here we go. It'll be just a second. I just got to scroll down to get to the bottom of the page. Okay, here we are. Now, at the bottom of this page, there's 5 pages, so there's a lot of loads, okay? It says right here, total loaded miles for that quarter was 13,706. Total empty miles is 8,610. Okay, so that's the 22,000 some odd change. Now it'll give you your average loaded miles. So my average loaded miles was 131. My average empty miles was 82. I did 105 loads, and the average load pay, all those loads added up, was $426.48. So my total percentage pay was $38,752, $6,027 extra pay, fuel surcharge, and so forth, for a total of $44,779.89 for that quarter. Now remember that number because that was a number on the profit and loss. And to show you that we know all these numbers are right, if I close this out and then I click the profit and loss, just like that, there's the number, total revenue $44,779.89. So that's how the program works. It's really effective, drivers. It's you know, something I think everybody should run it. You know, maybe not this program, but a program. You know, people that just do it on pencil and paper, that really doesn't work. You know, you really don't know exactly where you're at any given time. This lets you know exactly. And you can print all these reports out so you can file them away if you want. And it makes it really easy at tax time. See, because all these categories are right there. All right, so I'll close that out. And that's the demonstration. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And be safe out there, and we'll talk to you later.